All right, guys, so today I'm going to go over synthetic division. The first thing I want to point out is that this right here, this polynomial x to the fourth plus 4x cubed minus 53x squared minus 39x minus 28 is called our dividend. And what we're dividing by, this over here, is our divisor. Now, when we're using synthetic division, the first thing that I always do is I take our divisor and I see if the exponent of x is 1. And it is. So I'm going to take the x minus 6, my divisor, and set that equal to 0. And when I solve, I'm going to get x equals 6. And my setup for my long division, I don't need it in this form. I need it in x minus 6. But for synthetic division, I do need it in this form. I need the value of x. So the setup is going to be using this long sideways L. And that value is what's going to go on the outside right here. So the next thing is I need the coefficients of my dividend. So the coefficient right here, the coefficient here, coefficient here, here, and here. Okay, there are no missing terms. They are, we do have an x to the fourth, an x to the third, an x to the second, an x, and then x to the 0th. So there's no missing terms, so we're just going to place those coefficients in. So we have the first one is a 1. The second one is a 4. The third is a negative 53. Next is a negative 39. And last we have a negative 28. Okay, if there was a missing term, for example, if we didn't have an x squared term, I would have a plus 0x squared. So where I put the x squared term, I would have put a 0. But again, we're not missing that term, so we don't need to replace it with a 0. Now, a little silly, but there's a song I like to sing, Drop It Like It's Hot, and that's going to help us. So what we're going to do is we're going to drop it like it's hot. We're going to drop that 1. And after we drop it like it's hot, we're going to So what that stands for is multiply. 6 times 1 is the we multiplied and got 6. Is we're going to add these up. So if I add, I have 6 plus 4 gives me 10. Okay, now I'm going to multiply the 6 and the 10, and I'm going to get 60. Now it's so it keeps repeating. So I've multiplied, so now the next thing would be to add this. And I have negative 53 plus 60 gives me a positive 7. And now I have 7, so multiply 7 times 6 is going to give me 42. And when I have 42, I need to add that to 39, and I'm going to get 3. Now multiply 6 times 3 is 18. And add, I get a negative 10. Now the last one is going to go in this little box, and that's our remainder. We're going to talk about how we write that in just a moment. Okay, so if we think about this, we just divided x to the fourth plus all those other terms divided by x plus whatever terms or minus whatever term that is. So what's going to happen is we had x to the fourth and we're dividing by x. We are going to get x cubed as our result, right? Next would be x squared. Decreasing by 1, I would have an x. And there's what I get. So my quotient, my answer here, is x cubed plus 10x squared plus 7x plus 3. Okay, and now I have this remainder. So I'm going to have a negative 10 over my divisor. My divisor, go back up to the beginning. See, we labeled it up here. We have our divisor was x minus 6. So using synthetic division, here is my final answer. Okay, I'm going to go on over to example 2. All right, the first thing that I notice is that my polynomial, my dividend, is not actually in order. It's not in standard form. So I'm going to go ahead and write that so I don't make any mistakes here. I'm going to have m cubed plus 11m squared plus 17m plus 2. And again, I don't have any missing terms here. I have m cubed, m squared, m, and 2, so I'm good. For my divisor, I have m plus 2. Let's find what value goes outside my synthetic division. So I'm going to put a negative 2 on the outside of my synthetic division. Now I'm going to replace the coefficients here. So I have 1, 11, 17, and 2. We're going to go ahead and drop it like it's hot. So drop the 1, multiply. Negative 2 times 1 is negative 2. If I add those, I'm going to get 9. Now I'm going to multiply negative 2 plus 9. Multiply. Negative 2 times 9 is going to give me a negative 18. And if I add those, I'm going to get a negative 1. Multiplying those, I have negative 2 times negative 1. That gives me a positive 2. And when I add those, I get my remainder, 4. So if I look here, I divided m cubed by m, so my resulting polynomial is going to be x squared plus 9x minus 1. So my quotient is x squared plus 9x minus 1. And my remainder is 4 over my dividend, m plus 2.